Hello everybody. We are so glad that you have chosen to spend this time with us and with God. This is Pastor Don Swarthout, and I am the pastor of the Gospel Truth Center in Lexington, Kentucky. I'm also the president of Christians Reviving America's Values, which is known as CRAVE, C-R-A-V-E. As you have heard me say before, we crave revival in our churches and the restoration of godly principles in America. Today, I want to talk with you about the fact that the Bible says, in Jesus, we can find no deceit, guile, or lies. Telling the truth has always been important to God, and it has always been very important to me personally. One question I want to ask you is, if you swear in secret, are you being deceitful? Well, the correct answer to that question is yes. Anything you do which you are not supposed to do and keep it hidden from others is necessarily deceitful. This is so simple, you may wonder why we're discussing it. The first thing I would say is, thank God you are wondering why we are discussing this. But the reason for this statement is that too many Christians act like nothing is wrong with being deceitful or lying. The word deceit, according to the dictionary, means an act of representing representing as true what is known to be false. A lie or a dishonest action, or the quality of being deceitful. The word deceitful means tending to deceive, apt to lie or cheat, the intention to deceive, and to be deceptive or dishonest. We recently had a congressman who was under a great deal of pressure to resign, which he finally did. But he said beforehand, there is nothing illegal about what I have done. I have not violated the Constitution in any way. Therefore, I will not resign from my position. My question to him was, would Jesus make the same excuses that the congressman made? I don't think Jesus would condone lying, do you? What this congressman might as well have said was, lying to the people who elected me and believe in me is okay. Lying is not mentioned as a crime as far as the Constitution of our nation goes, and as a congressman, lying to you, therefore, is my right and privilege. That is just crazy. That is crazy talk. And I would say to that, it is also our right to deny anyone who is a liar, who is lying to all of us who live in the United States of America. It is our right to mistrust elected officials since these people work for us. Maybe the Constitution does not make specifically lying wrong, but even then, I have the right to mistrust any of our elected officials who just blatantly lie to our faces. Besides, this congressman has already admitted that he did what he was accused of, and admitted he lied to us in this manner, and we are left to wonder, what else is he lying about? We must not say that lying is okay, particularly an elected official who lied to all of us in this country about the fact he did what he was accused of and then lied to all of us in a dramatic press conference. Recently on television, the Secretary of State justified lying to other countries when he said, "It is not uncommon for nations to lie to one another." I wonder, why do we even talk to these nations if they are known as liars? Does that make lying between countries or between anyone okay to Jesus Christ? We have become so deceitful that we will accept anything we may choose as okay. It has become like some of those people I hear on television who are really so against the American dream. These people talk like they deserve the biggest house on the block at a price they can afford, and they think that we owe it to them. There are about half of the people in this country who really believe this. Never mind that I shrewdly bought the best house I could afford to pay for. I have bought a house which we will pay for in 10 years. I have acted in a biblically responsible way by doing this, and I hate to remind you, but I was broke in the 1980s. I did not ask anyone or the government to pay for my house. Why should I now suffer from the fact our government encouraged banks to issue high-risk loans to people the banks knew would not be able to repay them, and then they did this? Of course, I know that we have been blessed by God. In other words, I do not expect to be blessed by somebody else who is telling me that I can afford a better house and that they will pay for it. But that is exactly what is happening in America today. America was based upon the freedom to do the very best that you can, not upon a guarantee that you will be able to pick out a house just as you want, and that house will be in the neighborhood that you want. Maybe these people who want these houses without being able to afford them do not know, but we tried communism at one time in this country. In the old days, we tried communism and it did not work. We found out that people did not produce nearly as much as they could because they all thought it was ridiculous to be a top producer since they were all going to, quote, earn the same amount anyhow. In other words, communism did not work because of people who expected the best without giving their best. Never mind the best was received, that they all received was not God's best. The result was that those who were top producers were not rewarded, and there were enough of them that they made America a capitalist society. America became a nation where your energy, initiative, hard work were rewarded rather than being ignored. If you worked hard and kept your nose clean, you were able to buy a house. Oh, maybe you weren't able to get a 6-bedroom home with 4 bathrooms and have it be brand new, but you were able to buy a house. And this house that you bought was better than you could have bought in any other nation. America became a rich nation because those who were not top producers were still able to earn a great deal more than people living in other countries. America was a rich nation because people were rewarded and got what they earned, and not because of the fact the government gave it to them. One time, people who lived in America did not want to be given anything which somebody else had earned. These people didn't feel entitled because they knew the truth about communism. Those who have been lied to by people who support communism want to feel close to a dictator. They want somebody to be in charge of their nation, but they want to feel like they're close to someone who is the dictator of their country because it makes them feel important. This is the reason that our nation is going down. We used to be a great nation, one that was very successful. Even those people who did not have the ability to make it to the top were able to achieve much more than people who lived in other nations and people who were ruled by other forms of government. One of the reasons for our decline is that there are no manufacturing jobs left in our country. Why? Well, because our politicians thought it was a good decision to send all of them out of the country. It has turned out not to be a good decision because most of these nations are communist-based. Our politicians continue to lie about their decision, saying it was all good, and they lie about where the blame really lies. This decision by our politicians has turned our nation into what it is today. It does not matter whether these politicians were Democrats, Independents, or Republicans, because they all acted like they thought it was a great thing to do. By shipping our manufacturing out of the country, we have become a nation of spenders and shoppers. We all went to the mall and we spent. That was why we have become a nation who believe we are entitled to a house, just like those that have earned it. Never mind that those people have worked for everything that they have earned. America used to be, and still can be, the leader in the world because of the innovation we have shown. If we had enough jobs to go around, not to be a nation of nobodies, we would be a nation of somebodies. The way to get your country into a position of being a world leader who is innovative is by keeping jobs. And you learn about the manufacturing process by seeing it and working in it every day. By the way, the same is true of a communistic country, but you will not have an opportunity to achieve as much for yourself as you will achieve in a capitalist society, even if you are not a top producer. Instead, your money will be controlled by a dictator who has power, money, and control. That person can tell you where you will work and what you will be doing and what you will do with your life and so forth. They will steal your life from you while taking every bit of your freedom. Your purse strings will be so controlled the dictator gets way more money than you ever thought could be yours. The dictator will end up lining his pockets with way more of your money than you have ever thought could be yours. All you have to do to look at these is to look at these dictators' bank accounts, and you see that I am telling you the truth. You will receive much less by working in a communist country than in a country that is truly free. So if you believe a communist country is for you, then you should go to Russia, China, or Cuba. Then you will experience for yourself what happens when you work for the good of the government. The question is, which type of country do you want to live in and work in? I know that it seems like I've gotten off of the beaten path, but I was led to this path by the Lord. The Lord said to me, "This is the only path you have left to defeat some of the lies being told about this country and what its government should be all about. Our government should be about liberty and freedom. And we are instead about high regulations and high deficits which steal your liberty and freedom." Another subject which the Lord has led me to was the United States of America Citizens Test, which was given to people before they became citizens of the United States. Well, it was recently given to a group of students in the 8th grade, and some in high school, and some to regular citizens. And they all failed the questionnaire, the test, miserably. This is reported to have happened because we no longer teach our children about the true founding of our nation and how the Constitution came into being. If you do not know where you are from, how will you be able to figure out where you are going? Maybe the best quote of our founding fathers was one John Quincy Adams made on July 4th, 1821. The highest glory of the American Revolution was this, he said. It connected in one indissoluble bond the principles of civil government with the principles of Christianity. The number one principle in America has always been its freedom and liberty of its people.